Terry Hunt.
Mr. President, a new intelligence report says that Iran halted its nuclear weapons program 4 years ago and that it remains frozen. Are you still convinced that Iran is trying to build a nuclear bomb? And do the new findings take the military option that you've talked about off the table?
Here's what we know. We know that they're still trying to learn how to enrich uranium. We know that enriching uranium is an important step in a country whose desire was to develop a weapon. We know they had a program. We know the program was halted. I think it is very important for the international community to recognize the fact that if Iran were to develop the knowledge that they could transfer to a clandestine program, it would create a danger for the world. And so I view this report as a warning signal that they had the program, they halted the program. And the reason why it's a warning signal is that they could restart it. And the thing that would make a restarted program effective and dangerous is the ability to enrich uranium, the knowledge of which could be passed on to a hidden program. And so it's, to me, the NIE provides an opportunity for us to rally the international community, continue to rally the community, to pressure the Iranian regime to suspend its program. You know, the NIE also said that such pressure was effective. And that's what our government has been explaining to, our other partners in keeping the international pressure on Iran. The best diplomacy, effective diplomacy, is one in which all options are on the table.
Mr. President, Iraq's WMD turned out not to be there, and now Iran halted its nuclear program in 2003. Are you concerned that the United States is losing credibility in the world and now may be seen as the boy who called wolf?
Actually, I want to compliment the intelligence community for their good work. Right after the failure of intelligence in Iraq, we reformed the intel community so that there was a lot of serious considerations of NIEs in a way that would give us confidence. And here's I think, a very important product that is a result of the reforms we put in place. As a matter of fact, the American people should have confidence that the reforms are working and that this work on the intel community is important work. People say, well, why is it that you can't get exact knowledge quicker? Well, the answer is because we're dealing with a regime that is not very transparent. And frankly, we haven't had a very good presence in Iran since 1979. And that's why I instructed the intel community to beef up its intelligence on Iran so we could have a better sense for what they're thinking and what they're doing. And this product is a result of intelligence reform and, more importantly, the good hard work of our intelligence community. One of the reasons why this is out in the public arena is because I wanted, and our administration believed, that one, it was important for people to know the facts as we see them. Secondly, that members of my administration have been very clear about the weapons program earlier this year, and therefore it's important for the American people to see that there's been a reevaluation of the Iranian issue. David.
Mr. President, thank you. I'd like to follow on that. When you talked about Iraq, you and others in the administration talked about a mushroom cloud. Then there were no WMD in Iraq. When it came to Iran, you said on October 17th, you warned about the prospect of World War III. When months before you made that statement, this intelligence about them suspending their weapons program back in 2003 had already come to light to this administration. So can't you be accused of hyping this threat, and don't you worry that that undermines U.S. credibility?
David, I don't want to contradict an august reporter such as yourself, but I was made aware of the NIE last week. In August, I think it was Mike McConnell came in and said, we have some new information. He didn't tell me what the information was. He did tell me it was going to take a while to analyze. Why would you take time to analyze new information? One, you want to make sure it's not disinformation. You want to make sure the piece of intelligence you have is real. And secondly, they want to make sure they understand the intelligence they gathered. If they think it's real, then what does it mean? And it wasn't until last week that I was briefed on the NIE that is now public. And the second part of your question has to do with this. Look, Iran was dangerous, Iran is dangerous, and Iran will be dangerous if they have the knowledge necessary to make a nuclear weapon. The NIE says that Iran had a hidden, a covert nuclear weapons program. That's what it said. What's to say they couldn't start another covert nuclear weapons program? And the best way to ensure that that the world is peaceful in the future is for the international community to continue to work together to say to the Iranians, we're going to isolate you. However, there is a better way forward for the Iranians. Now, in 2003, the Iranian government began to come to the table in discussions with the EU3, facilitated by the United States. As we said to the EU3, we'll support your efforts to say to the Iranians, you have a choice to make. You can continue to do policy that will isolate you, or there's a better way forward. And so that was the sticks and carrots approach. You might remember the United States said at that point in time, we'll put the WTO on the table for consideration, or we'll help you with spare parts for your airplanes. It was all an attempt to take advantage of what we thought was a more open-minded Iranian regime at the time, a willingness of this regime to talk about a way forward. And then the Iranians had elections. And Ahmadinejad announced that to the IAEA that he was going to, this is after, by the way, the Iranians had suspended their enrichment program. He said, we're going to stop the suspension. We'll start up the program again. And that's where we are today. My point is that there is a better way forward for the Iranians. There has been a moment during my presidency in which diplomacy provided a way forward for the Iranians. And, our hope is we can get back on that path again. But what is certain is that if Iran ever had the knowledge to develop a nuclear weapon, and they passed that knowledge onto a covert program, which at one time in their history has existed, the world would be more dangerous. And now's the time for the international community to work together.